my name is Mona, she, her pronouns. I'm currently in Global Minds. I'm in the second year, so I'm in the 2021-2023 cohort. I was in Path A. So I started in Portugal and then I went to Limerick. And now in the second year, I did a research internship with Anka, which I mostly finished. And currently I'm in the US for another project, which I'll also talk about in a bit. And I'm working on my thesis, which is supervised by Ronnie Greenroad from UL. And yeah, I thought I could talk a bit about my internship experience and what has helped me to get them. And a lot of it was like learning on the way and not very strategically, but looking back now, I can see how I did some things that were helpful to get the internships and to have a good time while doing the internships. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you and I hope it will be helpful to some of you. So a lot of great experiences that I had were at Kalamazoo College, where I'm at right now. I did my bachelor's at the University of Bonn in Germany. I'm German, by the way. And when I did my bachelor's, I did a study abroad at Kalamazoo College, which was a bit shorter because of the pandemic, but I had a really good time here. And it also inspired me to do the Global Minds program. And during my time here, I started online. I got to know Karen Boatwright, who is a counseling psychologist and feminist psychologist and a lecturer here. And during my first term, I took counseling psychology with her. And I'm not really into counseling psychology or clinical psychology therapy or anything like that, but I really enjoyed the course and I loved her way of teaching. She's very compassionate and very passionate about women's issues, about intersectionality. So I really enjoy working with her and learned a lot from her. And here at Kalamazoo College, they have office hours, which are very open. So they actually want you to come in and to talk to the people. So at the University of Bonn, I never did that. I never actually had like a personal relationship to the lecturers. But when I got to Kalamazoo College, I tried to build those connections with the professors, which was super beneficial for me. And I built a personal relationship with Karen. And yeah, she knew about my situation, how I was supposed to be in Michigan, but couldn't because of the pandemic. And she was very supportive and tried to find ways for me to be more engaged with the community. So we talked over winter break and we thought about opportunities for me to become more involved. And she offered me to join her research team, which met online at the time. So I helped her reviewing literature, for example, and reading her manuscript, reviewing it, doing research for her. And that worked very well. So we continued building that relationship, collaborating. And I also told her about my bachelor thesis, which I was working on at the time, which was about ambivalent sexism. And it fitted well into her research as well. And because she knew that I was doing my bachelor thesis, she then offered me to do a social action group at Kalamazoo College, which is a part of her feminist psychology course. So every winter she teaches that class, and as part of the class, there are small group projects for students. So yeah, because we had that personal relationship and she had trust in me, she gave me a lot of freedom to design and facilitate that group, which was super fun. We were maybe 6 students, a small group, but we could come together and talk about research and gave a presentation. And then let me just take a quick look at my notes so that I don't forget anything I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so I also took feminist psychology that winter with her. And then in spring, I was able to come to Kalamazoo College in person. I didn't take any classes with her though, but I kept going to her office hours and meeting her in person and thanking her for all her support till then. And then at the end of summer in June, the classes ended, but I thought about prolonging my stay in the US. So I wanted to extend my visa and do internships here. So I talked to her about it and she was very supportive and offered me to do an internship with her during research, again, facilitating a student group, which I did over the summer, which enabled me to stay in the US. So really great experience, very grateful for that. And then after I left the US, again, I stayed in contact with her and sending emails, sending her research articles that I thought might be interesting to her, just giving her an update on my life. If I ever like reflected on how she had impacted my path, I sent her a thank you note. And when I graduated, I sent her photos of like me in my graduation gown, thanking her for her contribution to it. Which, when I think about it now, it sounds like strategic, keeping that connection, but I just love her and I just want to share my happiness and appreciation with her. And, then in the long run, it was also, again, beneficial for me because now I'm back in the US, again, working for her, not as a student, but as a student director. And yeah, we've kept on building that relationship and I have so much trust in her and she's such a great mentor. So yeah, and also with this opportunity, like with what I'm doing right now, this is not a part of Global Minds that is required. Like I have done my internship. It's just something that I was interested. I know I love working with her. I know I always learn from her. And I knew that I always learn from the students here as well. So last summer, I started thinking, okay, how can I use this second year of my master's? And I had kept in mind that 2 years ago, she had told me, if you ever want to work with me again, just reach out. So I think it would be easy to forget those messages and invitations, but some people actually mean those invitations, and Karen was one of them. So when I reached out, she was like, yeah, let's do it. Come to the US, do this. And now I'm here. So yeah, my advice from all that is basically just appreciate people who share the same values as you and see the potential in that and build trust and build relationships and invest in those connections. And you'll probably get a lot out of it. Maybe not now, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 5 years. You never know. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the one thing that I wanted to talk about, Karen and the whole Kalamazoo College thing. And then, by the way, I haven't kept track of time, so if you want me to stop, just interrupt me and let me know.
It's okay. No, it's okay. You can continue. If you want to like share something else.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to share was about my work with Anka, who's also here in the call. Hi. So yeah, I did the research internship with Anka and I reached out to her, I think around a year ago. So in winter when I just got to UL. And it was relatively early. Nobody had really started their internship, but I knew I had some time and I wanted to get to know her better. And I liked talking to her and like working with her to that point. I felt the vibe and I thought we could do well like working together. So I reached out to her and we met and we talked about possibilities for me to get involved. So I started going to the Migration and Diversity Research Lab. In the beginning, I was very quiet. I didn't contribute much. I was just there listening and learning and trying to figure out how the room works and how I could maybe contribute in a way. I also got involved with Layu Midi. Also there, I didn't have a specific role. I just jumped in when I was needed. And as you all know, Anka is very busy, has so many responsibilities. So there were a few times when we came together one-on-one to talk about what's going on and how it's going and what I could do. But so I tried to, take the initiative and find things on my own that I wanted to do that fit to her work and that could be beneficial for me. And gratefully, she was very flexible and encouraging me to take that initiative and to work independently. So yeah, I ended up going to a study session in Strasbourg about mental health and migration, just because I saw the ad somewhere and just applied. And then when they accepted me, I told Anka and she was like, yeah, go. Same for a sex work research workshop in Bochum in Germany. which I saw the ad and I was like, that fits Danka's research. Maybe you know about her sex work research, and that's what it was, the Working It project. And I wasn't involved with the research itself, but you know, I knew that this project was going on and there was this event where the results were presented. And I thought, maybe I can, you know, share her work with other people. And so I got the chance to go there and present her work. And it was a bit nerve-wracking because I wasn't an expert on the work, but it was a really good setting just to try it out because it was a small group, low pressure. So a really good learning opportunity for me. And also, yeah, a way to support her work and give something back. And then we also went to a summer school in Jena in Germany, which I don't know if you remember, Anka. I'm not sure how that worked, but how that came to happen. But so we spent some time there together, and that was a great chance also for her to, you know, for us to build a closer relationship and get to know each other better. Yeah, so my takeaway from all that is, if you work with people, try to find out how they work and how much time they can offer you, how much support they can offer you, and then try and find a way to fit in there to contribute. And if somebody doesn't respond that much, you can also see that as an opportunity for you to grow and take initiative. Because I can see other people, you know, working with Anka, or people who have like similar lifestyle, and just getting really frustrated and feeling lost. But for me, that opportunity wouldn't have helped me a lot. Yeah. So instead, I just took the initiative and tried to make the best out of it and be creative and see what happens. And a lot of great things happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then and the other thing was, you know, to reach out early. If there's someone you're interested in, just reach out to them. That was my message that I wanted to send out there. And also thank you to Axel, and thank you, Didi, and the GMA in general for inviting me to speak.